So some of us are so addicted to phones that even in church, we just have to hold our phones and check. Even when nobody is even sending you a message. But because you're addicted to the phone. And then the young ones will stay up with the phone even till midnight. And then it affects their sleep pattern. And of course, when they wake up, with time, they begin to have chronic, insomnia. Okay, so these are the effects of or the forms of addiction. It can be behavioral. And then what of gambling? Some persons are addicted to gambling and even stealing. Okay? And what other forms of addiction? Tom-tom. Some persons put tom-tom in a casera and it becomes an addictive for them. And sometimes some persons go to sniff latrine toilets over time. Okay? And then for some urine that has stayed for more than 10 days, it becomes an addictive substance for them, including ganja and so on. What are those signs? Somebody is beginning to display the signs of addiction. Okay, the first one is that the person becomes obsessed. The person needs the addictive substance at any cost. Secondly, the person is unable to stop. Okay, and then the person wants this drug irrespective of anything. Even if it means that the person should kidnap or kill people to get this drug, the person does that. Okay, and then the person loses control. Beyond the fact that the person loses control, the person has impaired relationship. So does not have good relationship with people, okay? Has, dysfunctional emotional response too. Okay, so what are the effects of addiction? That is the take-home of the day. What are the effects? So for those that are addicted, what are the effects on the body? Okay, so the first one is that illicit drugs can actually cause cancers. Okay, especially those, that sniff and then take tobacco. It can cause lung cancers. It can also cause seizure disorder, what we call epilepsy. We had a 14-year-old boy that was admitted because of, epilepsy that he had because of using addictive substances. Okay, of course, when we use this, when persons use these addictive substances, it can also cause hypertension. It can increase the blood pressure and then lead to stroke. Okay, so it can also damage the stomach. It can cause reduced attention and then increased risk of, psychiatric problems and then premature death. Drugs and alcohol is actually one of the leading and preventable causes of premature death. And so in the course of using these substances, they can also have other infections like HIV. Okay, so, people that use drugs, especially the injectables, sometimes when they want to share cocaine, we are getting the testimony of somebody in the rehab. And he was telling us that if there's no money for them to buy cocaine, for individually, maybe they are 10. So what they do, they gather their money together, buy cocaine. So Mr. A will take the cocaine, and then after some time, they will take the blood of Mr. A and begin to inject into the 10 of them so that they can have that effect. Okay, so of course they can have hepatitis, HIV, and other diseases from that. And of course, destruction of life and properties. All these things they go together. Okay, because there is no money to sustain the drugs, they either begin to steal, to kidnap, or kill because they just need money to sustain their addiction. We have seen someone that carried the father's car of over 100 million and went to the bank and said, please give me the drug. And for 100 million, that has gone. So young people has even carried their parents' properties, house documents, just for drugs. And then the property is gone. Okay, so what are we going to do? What is the solution for drugs? Now, we know that prevention is better than cure. And the truth is that addiction is actually a preventable disease. How do we prevent it? We start by talking. Okay, we start by counseling the young ones. We start by encouraging them. And then not just, just one-on-one. We need to also go to the social media because the social media space also, make all these things look very attractive. And so we also counsel them on the protective factors of addiction, such as self-control, positive relationships, and then good support and parental monitoring, which is very important because this is actually key to prevention. And so for those that are addicted, please, they need professional counseling and professional management. They need rehabilitation, and then support groups too will help, including spiritual support. Brothers and sisters, addiction is actually progressive and preventable. It can cause disability, premature death, and other diseases, especially if it is not handled properly. And then it's important for us to note that recovery from addiction is possible, but then the patient has to be willing, and it has to be provided by trained professionals. Self-control, self-esteem, and then setting boundaries are actually keys in avoiding addiction. It's important that we are vigilant, and then we are aware, and we say no. When we say no to addiction, it is also important that we say yes to the positive, gainful things of life. It is possible that we say yes to prevention of addiction. It's important that we say yes as we cultivate positive habits that will help us to live meaningfully, and then checkmate our cravings and our desires. It's important we say yes as we begin to live and walk in a world free of addiction. Thank you.